Hey everybody, welcome back to the wood shop. Guess what? We finally done it. We went out and got ourselves a dust collector. What we've got here is the 2 horsepower 70-gallon central machinery dust collector from Harbor Freight.
These are pretty popular, and we even asked you all in a little poll on our YouTube page, we're going to buy a dust collector at some point. What brand do you think that we should buy? And over half of you said, go with the one from Harbor Freight. So that's what we did. We really didn't know when we were going to buy it. And I happened to be scrolling through my emails one day. We had a lot going on. We had to make a trip up to my dad's. It was, I think, a Sunday or Saturday. It was on a weekend. Yeah. Might have been a Sunday. And I was just scrolling through my emails and happened to find a promotional ad from Harbor Freight. They were having a Black Friday sale, even though it was in the spring. I don't know what that was about. But it piqued my interest, and I was like, let's see if the dust collector is on sale, because I typically check out the ad. And it just so happened it was the very last day, and the dust collector was on sale at an amazing price. So we got this and the little kit that goes with it for right around $300, and we were really excited to get some savings.
Yeah, today we're going to make a video about putting this together, and we're going to try it out on a few of our tools. Alright, now the first thing we're going to do is get everything out of the box, put it up on the bench, make sure everything is here and is not damaged. Well, as far as we can tell, everything is here and undamaged.
Yep, everything looks good. Per the manual, the first thing that we're going to do is attach these casters right here to the base plate. This will help our dust collector be mobile. The one thing that I thought was kind of weird when we were taking all these parts out, it said that it has this box and it says hardware. A lot of the time when you get something that needs to be assembled, there'll be little packets of screws and fasteners and things like that. But everything in this is just in this little bag inside of this box. So all the fasteners we need are in here. We hope. We didn't count them. But just be aware of that when you go to purchase this dust collector.
Well, now I guess we got to clear off the workbench so we can work on it. Alright, one design flaw to point out so far. These bolts with a Phillips head, no good. They really need a hex head on there so I can get as much torque as I want to put on these bolts, but hopefully they'll stay in place.
Another thing that kind of was a little bit aggravating, I talked earlier about how all the fasteners came in one bag in one box. And so as we started going through the manual to see how to put this together, it would say, bolt such and such, nut such and such. So we took everything, I think you can see, and separated all of these fasteners into groups. That way we could more easily identify everything we needed and make sure that we had everything. So the next thing we're going to do is attach these supports.
Well, now that we have these support bars on here, the next thing we have to do is attach the motor mount plate and the motor and fan housing itself.
The next thing we're going to do is attach this outlet to the blower, and between the outlet and the blower we've got this outlet gasket. It'll keep everything nice and secure and tight so that no particles escape. All right, the next thing we're going to do is start to attach this collector to these collector supports. We did go ahead and attach this handle. In the instructions, in the manual, it said to do this last, but we thought this would be nice to be able to hold on to that. I was going to wait until the end to kind of gripe about this. The instructions that come with this are not great. Like, we've had to do a lot of guessing about when to do things, what fasteners to use. So hopefully this video is helpful for you if you decide to get a Harbor Freight central machinery dust collector. But just know that the instructions in the manual, they're not complete. The next thing we're going to do is attach this hose from the blower to the collector with these two clamps. All right, we're getting very close to having this dust collector all assembled, but I really dread this next step. This is the filter that goes on top here, and this clamp has teeth on one end, and I'm supposed to feed it through this bag at the bottom and put it around this collector. I don't know how that's going to work out, but I'm going to try it. And if I feel like I can't do it, then I'm just going to stretch the bag over the collector and put the clamp on. All right, we're going to attach the collector bag. It goes up around the bottom of this collector. There are some little pin-like things on here to help hold the bag in place while we secure it with a clamp. All right, we have one piece left to attach. It's this little guy right here. We do have to take this screw out. It's going to hold it in place to the blower.
Well, as you can see, our dust collector is all put together. The next thing to do is flip the switch and see if she breathes. Well, we have our dust collector put together. Tried it out, looks like it works just fine, but in order to use it, you've got to at least have some hose or something. So we bought this accessory kit when we bought the dust collector, and it's got what we need inside.
It actually has a few more items than what we're going to be demonstrating today, but let's look at everything that we've got. What we got there?
This is a table saw dust collection hood.
I don't know if we'll play with that today, but that is very exciting.
We have a Y adapter.
Right here we have 2 blast gates. So these are really nice because if you want to turn the flow on and off, I'm going to try to like pull on that.
They're hard to move.
They're very hard. Wow. Anyways, this opens up so that you can turn the flow on and off to your piece of equipment. So if you have multiple pieces of equipment hooked up to the dust collector, you can shut off the flow to 1 or more pieces of equipment.
We got 2 joiner dust collection hoods here.
And a lot of clamps. They really made sure to get us set up with clamps, even though we only have 2 hoses. We have 10 clamps, so there's 2 here for each fitting. So that's really nice.
We're going to try out this dust collector on a few of our tools. We'll probably start over here at the miter saw, do a few cuts, see how that works out. Then we'll probably move to maybe the planer. Then we'll do some table saw cuts. Just see what we can get. All right, we'll go ahead and attach one of our hoses. All right, until we actually get some real fittings to do this with, we're going to go ahead and rig this up for now. This is a 2-inch rubber coupler for drain pipe that will fit over our 2.5-inch dust port that is on both of our cobalt tools, the table saw and the miter saw. And we have to use our 4-inch adapter that comes off of our Craftsman planer. It will fit in here, and then we will clamp our hose on this. We'll be good to go on our cobalt tools.
All right, the first tool we're going to try the dust collector on is this miter saw. We just have a scrap piece of pine here. We're going to cut this into some sections and see what we think about this dust collector's suction capability.
Okay, next up we're going to do a test with the old benchtop planer. And if you woodwork at all, you will know that nothing makes more dust and wood chips than the planer. We're going to try this out on an old scrap piece of hard maple that's just not good enough to use for anything. It's got cracks in it and stuff, so we'll go ahead and just eat it up. All right, the planer test, huge improvement with the dust collector over what we've been using. There's no contest. We're going to do one more test, and that is with the table saw. I'm going to take this board that I just planed up, and we'll do some rip cuts on it with the dust collector, and we'll see what we get. the table saw test worked out really good too. I was really surprised at how clean the saw actually stayed and the floor underneath it.
Now the tool where we saw the least significant impact was the miter saw. They're inherently messy. Not all of the dust is thrown right up into, the rotation of the saw. It kind of like splays out behind the saw. So we didn't see a huge difference with it, although we have to say, most of what we saw on the floor behind the miter saw were larger pieces. This thing is really great at picking up fine dust.
And I have seen videos of people, building shrouds or different ways of capturing dust from a miter saw. It's a pretty hard process, and you pretty much have to build something to get it to pick up everything.
We may do that in the future. We're also going to work on kind of building out dust collection for the whole shop. Today, this video is just about putting this thing together, which wasn't as simple as we thought it would be. But we got it together, it works great, and we're looking forward to, like I said, building out just a nice solid system for dust collection for the whole shop.
If you like this video, give it a big old thumbs up, subscribe to our channel to stay up to date on all of our content. You can also check us out on Facebook or our website, woodsongsbyrussell.com.
Thanks again for joining us today, and as always, happy woodworking!